a dress, no panties, I don't play. He said he like I'm dark skinned like
What's poppin', y'all? It's the one and only Mrs. Black Dyamond, and you are now tapped into It's Deeper Than That.
you know I'm set tripping and I got your back. That nigga broke your heart again, no, I don't like that. I got that cake out and I will make the news like that.
Growing up for me was not peaches and cream. Wasn't the best. You know, mom did her job. She did the best that she could do. You know, my dad was on drugs my whole life. You know, may he rest in peace. I love him. Man, that was my boy. You know, my mom did the best she could. You know, she went through a lot of things, so she eventually lost us to the foster care system. And I'm the oldest, you know, of 4. So I had to hold it down. I've always been. That's why I'm always so, I don't want to say controlling, but just have to make sure everything go right because I had no choice at a young age. I was 12 when it happened. I was actually 8 when we got taken away, but I was 12 when we went back home. So I got taken away from mom. We went to foster care. It was 4 of us, so they separated us. It was me and the one that's underneath me, Keisha. We're the 2 oldest. And then it was my sister, Mercedes, and my brother, Leonte. He's mentally ill. I hope he's good out there. I love you, bro. They separated us, the 2 oldest and the 2 youngest. So we were separate, you know, but no matter where we went, I'm always thinking of them. Like, I hope they're good. We never really could know if each other were good. You know, my mom used to sneak to our school. I used to go to the school called Tibby Elementary on Compton. And my mom, she wasn't even supposed to come see us. You know, they made it to a point where she was not supposed to come see us. And the principal at the time, you know, he was just like, man, first of all, me and my sister Keisha were getting teased. Mind you, mama, she used to make sure we was popping. Like ponytails popping, barrettes matching. We was always dressed right. We got taken to a foster home. You know, we're not their kids. They didn't treat us the same way as our mom did. So, you know, we were getting teased in school, you know, and I'm just looking at her like, man, we would never go through this. Like, we was always popping. Like, it was very humbling. And I remember the principal, my mom had so much passion. I remember the principal, he just like called us to the office. And he's just like, you know, don't tell nobody. I know y'all not supposed to see y'all mom, but she here. She want to do y'all hair. She got backpacks for y'all. I forgot the name of the principal, man, but I'll never forget him. And he let my mama and us sit in her office, and she did our hair, and she gave us backpacks and outfits. And on my life, I wore that outfit 2 days in a row. Because it was funny, because when I went back to class, the same girls and the people that were teasing me, they was like, oh, sit by us. You know how kids are.
Who the fuck don't stop me? Ask him who he digging, and I bet I'm in his top 3. Pay me like a bill the way they sit around and watch me. I'm all up in her face, look what your baby daddy got me. These niggas say I'm cocky.
Mama went through a lot of things. Me being the oldest, I had to like really step up early. You know, 12 years old, braiding hair in hotels. Niggas was homeless. You know, I remember telling my sister Keisha, like, you know, we was in a hotel and we were popular. So I'm like, man, we live in here, but people can't see us coming out of here, nigga, because we're known. And I remember like going to the front of the hotel, telling her to stay back. I'm gonna go to the front on the busy street. I'm gonna look and make sure there's no school buses, because all of our friends rode the school buses. And I'm like, I'm gonna look, I'm gonna make sure nobody's riding the school buses, and we gonna run out. As soon as the school bus go up there, we gonna run out. And then, you know, eventually it worked. Then, you know, people start saying like, you know, well, Sean, that's what they call me. Like, y'all good? I could have sworn I seen y'all coming out. Oh, you know, I'm on tail. Like, no, we good. So I went from looking for school buses to city buses, because the kids call it the city bus too. So anytime I see any bus, I'm like, bro, we good. So we'll run out. I tell Keisha, like, when I'm gonna run out first, boom, you dart with me. And we would dart. It was just like trying not to be embarrassed. You know, we was going through that. And mama went through a hard time. I remember, like, I said in my lyrics, like, you know, I used to braid hair for money. You know, mama fucked the new Jordans. Like, I couldn't care about being selfish. I was the oldest. We needed to stay another night in the hotel room because we was homeless. So I would braid the hair at 12 years old to give mama the money.
Ain't too many chicks that I'm cool with. Stay switching lanes in a cool whip, and I top shit off like Cool Whip. I be laughing at these phony little chicks I went to school with. They be laughing in my face, and I'm like, ha ha ha, move bitch. R.I.P. to them chicks they call competitors. They claim they getting though I give them.
How did I first start rapping? I hate to say this because I hear everybody say it and it's become so taboo because everybody just says it so much. But I started out writing poetry, just writing, period. Writing, You know, that's really my gift. The writing is really what I do. So writing turned into poetry, writing poetry turned into the music. You know, I started putting melodies with it and rhyming, you know, and getting it popping.
Queen of Compton, I'm let you know. You want the crown, we can run it, bitch. I work hard for this little whore. You big mad at just a little sick.
You know, I'm looking at different artists on TV, female rappers, and I'm like, oh my God, they're so powerful. You know, like as a child, I was very powerless because of the situation that I've been through, you know, just growing up the way I grew up. So I'm like, man, one day I want to have a voice. Somebody's going to hear me. So, you know, the writings eventually turned into, you know, music, rapping. And, you know, I just started doing my shit every single day.
Let's talk about it. I'm the Queen of Compton, they want the crown, ain't no talking about it. I'm not where I'm from, bitch, like surfboard, bitch.
Like, why do you call yourself the Queen of Compton? You can say that. It can be a name. It's a moniker, of course. But I wanted to live in it. I wanted to live in the purpose of being the Queen of Compton. So I started with my brother, Compton City Movement. What can we do for the city? What can we do for the people like us? Nobody did nothing for us. Sorry to say, but none of them big people reached down and grabbed us. Not even saying that we're big, but we care enough to, in our positions, to say, like, what can we do for people that may not be in the light that we're in? So we throw talent shows, we do ciphers, we feed the homeless. You know, we even cleaned, we teamed up with Camp Compton, you know, Team Camp Compton, and we cleaned up the whole city of Compton. Aja Brown was there, and we got deep down and dirty with the city of Compton.
This song for my day ones, when we can get together, you don't want none.
Compton is not what you guys see on TV or how the media portrays it. It's really a dope place. It's really like a melting pot, and it's very family oriented, believe it or not, because you can leave the hood and go move, and when you come back, that's your grandma's house, and it's still there. And everybody go there on Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, and we go there and we reunite and we come together. So Compton was dope for me. Compton to me is family. It represented family for me. My biggest influences in Compton, of course, was music for me. It was always music because I was very, very small. I know that NWA, when I heard Compton, I heard Eazy-E, I heard Dr. Dre's, even Michelet, I heard, you know, Ice Cube, you know, some of the people, you know, were not necessarily from Compton, but they were affiliated with Compton. And Compton was powerful because of these people. So those are the people that, you know, yeah. NWA, everybody know that.
So I got the realest nigga I know. 80 to low. You know what it is. Only I can judge me. The struggle's never crazy, ugly. Don't live in the dark, that's for sure.
You know, what has blocked me, what has hindered me, I would say is, and I gotta be real with y'all because this is deeper than rap. You feel me? I can't be putting on for the cameras. But it was just like, I've always found myself doing good, you know, in the studio, grinding, going hard. And as a female, I'm very emotional. So when I get into these relationships with certain guys that probably don't mean me well, you know, in references to or in regards to my music career, it's bad for me. It might be guys that are, guys want to compete with women, believe it or not. It might be a guy that want to compete with me. Like, oh, you're a black diamond, like, bitch, you're not better than me. Or it might be a guy that's like, you're too powerful or too strong. Like, I want to break you down to the lowest common denominator. Like, it be that. Like, it's been that for me. And I will find myself, like, diminishing and falling more so in the background to make this particular person happy. And then that also plays on my consistency, how consistent I am in the game. So my lack of consistency because of most of the time those relationships, to be honest.
I be whipping up the highway entirely too much sauce. His bitches looking at me sideways. My wrist is frozen, nigga, too much frost. You thirsty niggas need to hydrate. Wanna sniff the pussy, nigga, probably not. Crack the fine nigga on a Friday. Took me out to eat, I let him eat.
Tell you guys something that a person would not necessarily know about me by looking at me. I am overly sensitive. I'll even cry when I'm watching movies, and my son be like, Mama, turn it off if you're gonna be crying. He be so mad. And I'm like, man, you don't even understand, bro. They didn't have to do, bro, like that. I be motherfucking sick. I be hurting. I'll even cry in my sleep after the movie done. I'll be like, damn, it'll be on my mind. So not just the movie, but I am very overly sensitive. And people would just think with this hardcore exterior or this drill sergeant, they call me drill sergeant. If y'all ever watched this movie called Deliver Us from Evil, My sisters, they always say, I'm Eva. They always say that. And I'd be like, why? But I guess I get it. I get it. But I'm overly sensitive, and my heart is like, I'm like a big teddy bear. I'm a big teddy bear. I'm not like this hardcore, like, punching on niggas and fuck you, bitch. Oh, I can get that way because I ain't got no choice. Niggas be tripping and bitches be trying you. But I promise you, the biggest teddy bear you could probably ever fucking know. The most sensitive, you'll be like, that's not the girl that's rapping. That's not the girl that's battle rapping versus Shotgun and Sugar. That's not the girl in these ciphers. That can't be her. That's me. Swear to God. My challenges as a single mother and trying to get my career off the ground, I would say more so now I'm doing better with it. I'm actually good with that. Of course, babysitters, thank God for my mama, and my son's father's mom, amazing. Thank God for the ladies, man, and just family, because my family, they never said, bitch, you got a baby now, your life is over, your career. Somebody did tell me that, I ain't gonna lie to you. Somebody who raised me actually told me that. I was in foster care, so it wasn't my mom. It was someone who had assistance in raising me. And she's just like, if you have that baby, your life is over. And your dreams is over, You're gonna lose your shape, you're gonna lose it all, it's over for you. And I'm like, damn, like when I was pregnant with my son, I'm like, damn, like this shit probably over for me. Like, I really felt that. But it was something deep in me that said, I can do this shit. I would have my son. He'll be everything that I go hard for. So.
Hey sis, what the fuck you call my phone like that?
Oh man, it was a lot of things, I would say, well, my daddy died. The reason why I say that is because it's crazy. I was just getting ready to move to Atlanta, to pursue the music on a deeper level, on a bigger level. And I was always nervous to move, because I'm so used to being here, as an artist. It's like, you don't want to never uproot and go somewhere, you don't want to face the unknown or what's uncomfortable, to say. But I told him, I'm like, Dad, look, I want to move to Atlanta. You need to come with me. Your girlfriend come. Me, my son, you and your girl, let's go. And he's like, baby, let's go. We finna move. And I'm like, yeah, we good. So I'm about to really finally take over. I'm finna go to Atlanta. It's finna go crazy. That was December. That was probably the end of November. So I remember December 2nd, it was a day that my son had a basketball game. And I'm calling my dad, calling him like, Dad, what the fuck? Like, why you not answering? You supposed to be at your grandson's game. Like, nigga, what's up? So he never answered. And at that time, before this particular day, my dad was always in and out the hospital. I was always right there with him. Like, I remember he was saying, Sean, snatch this out my nose. They got this shit on my nose, snatch it out. And I'd be like, Dad, I'm scared, but I'm gonna snatch it out. And I'll snatch it out and he'd be good. And, it was just a bond that we had. So this particular day, I had put in a move out of my apartment. And so I gave him my apartment. So this particular day, I didn't hear from my dad. I was already out of there, and I'm thinking we finna move. And then I get a call from the hospital, like, oh, your dad's in the hospital again. I'm like, okay, that's where he went. He good, once he be good, and, we get up, we go. I was sleeping on my sister's floor at the time because I gave him my apartment because we was getting ready to go. Then they tell me, like, Miss Watts, you need to come up here now because it's different. Like, he's not, it's an emergency, come up here now. So I'm like, the fuck they mean? So I got up late night, I went, and they told me basically they had to put him in a coma, like comatose. Like, damn, fuck you mean? Like, what you mean, like, comatose? That shit really fucked me up. So I was there all night, all day. I never left. I was homeless at the time because I forfeited my apartment for us to move. So it's like, we can't go nowhere. Now I can't leave now. Dad is like basically in comatose. That's what they told me. Come to find out, Dad is on life support. So, basically they were telling me like, he just, we just put him down like he's in a comatose. And I didn't even know what the fuck that meant. I just know the word coma, it didn't sit well with me. It didn't sit right with me. So I was there every day. I had no choice. Shit, I was, homeless at the time. Now I'm like, shit, I don't give a fuck about a home. I don't give a fuck about nothing. I just want to make sure, Dad is good. And after 10 days, I seen his health like deteriorate, and it got worse and worse. And I remember my sister, Miss Watts, shout out Miss Watts. She had lost her mother already, so she already knew. I was probably the one in denial. So I was just like, he good, man. He good. I'm about to go back. I was going back and forth. I was reading Bibles. I was praying. I remember seeing Dad like sleep, but he had like a tear that just stood there, and the shit didn't drop. And I remember one day that shit just dropped. My mama called me like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Mama, like I don't think it's good. Like he not waking up, and his tear, like he cannot open his eyes, but his tear just dropped. Like I think it's not good." So I'm holding on to hope. I'm sleeping in the hospital for 10 days straight. eventually, it got so bad that we had to wear robes and masks. He had caught like E. coli or something in his blood. It was bad. Like, and my family's in denial, and I'm like, fuck them. Like, at the end of the day, we gotta do what's right for Dad. And it was not getting better for him. So I had to like face it, like, damn, niggas might have to take him off life support. And Ms. Watts, you know, she told me, like, I'm not gonna make the decision, you are. Because I already know he gone. I already went through this with my mom, but you're the one in denial. And when you come to terms with it, then I know it's time. And it took me a while, but I remember we walked to Popeye's Chicken in Long Beach, St. Mary's, right there. And we ate chicken. And I'm like, man, nigga, we finna do this shit, bro. And we went. I didn't think I was gonna do that. It's this song that I have, Lost Diamonds. I haven't never released it. But I was praying for my dad when he was on his deathbed. And he never said nothing to me because he couldn't talk, you know. But they said the last thing that go away is the hearing, so he could hear. And I remember I had a dream about him before he died. It was either right before he died or after he died. And he was in a suit. Like, he was fly. He was happy. He had a wave cap on like he wear. He had his suit on, and he was standing by me by some vending machines. He was like, baby. And I played this song for him in real life, but in my dream he told me. He said, you know that song you played for me? I'm like, yeah, Dad. He was like, that's the one. That's the one, baby. That's the one. I never released it yet. I'm gonna release it. And I really feel like if I release, because it's R&B, it's some shit that nobody knows I can do because I can sing. I think once I release that, it might be the one. But I will never forget, I had a dream of my dad. He had died. He died already. And he was fresh. He was happy. He was good. It was a sign. Because I don't usually have a lot of dreams like that, but I'll never forget that dream. He was happy. He was so clean. He was like, baby. He was like, remember that song you played for me? I was like, yeah. And I never played it for him in the physical world when he was healthy. He was really on his death. So he was like, that's the one. That's the one, baby. That song. That's the one. And I never forgot it. I never released the song, but I never forgot that. But being the one who had to make that decision, I had my family calling us names. Like, that's my brother, bitch. And it was just like, y'all don't get it. Y'all in denial. Cause y'all probably didn't do right by my dad, bro. Niggas thought my dad was gonna be a crackhead forever, bro. My dad, for the 6 years of his life was clean. And I was the one that always said, no, my dad's clean. And everybody told me he was not, and he was. And that's why when I planned out his whole funeral and all that, and the theme of his funeral was redemption. Because I did not want people to know my father as what he was before he died, or not even before he died. I wanted them to accept what he was before he died. But he lived so many years being a drug addict that they didn't believe that. But I always did and I always knew. So he was 6 years clean when my daddy died and we took him off life support. I never forget that moment. They tested my dad and he was clean, bro. So I just knew, like, at the end of the day, me and my dad was like this.
Only God can judge me. The struggle's never pretty. Everything that I do, one thing that I know. I used to feel like daddy's right there, but daddy's not there, man. Daddy said he loved me.
I started Team Dark Skin, TDS. Shout out TDS, Team Dark Skin. Dynasty Dino, that's my sis. And I figured, like, Team Dark Skin is a movement to uplift brown skin, dark skin girls. It's not to shade anybody else. Just like Black Lives Matter, you know, it's not to shade anybody else. It's just to tell you that my life matters because I'm black. Same thing with Team Dark Skin. Like, there's no shade on Team Light Skin, no competition, none of that. I know about Willie Lynch. I've studied that. I've done all that. It's more so I appreciate my dark skin. And if you don't, you will. That's why I praise Team Dark Skin. And if I praise it enough and make it look glamorous enough, the world would accept it too. So that's where Team Dark Skin came in. I'm proud of it. TDS, Team Dark Skin, hashtag Team Dark Skin, period, point blank, bottom line.
It's good pussy nigga, bottom line. He wanna taste, he gave me brain with an open mind. I said, baby, get lost like you're hard to find. I reneged on a dick like, never mind. He a cheater, treat that nigga like a hostess. He from the Bay, tell that nigga when the ghost is. If the nigga ain't bloody, ain't the bro, sis. He try to fuck me, you ain't even know, sis. Me and my bitches getting litty in the bed. Who that boy to sing money dance? He litty on the track. I got a thing for this Jake boy, he really in the track. And if you want one of my
like, you are definitely the Queen of Compton. It's not just something I'm telling myself, it's facts, because I've earned that. So that's why I call myself the Queen of Compton. QOC, period.
Yo, I be whipping up the highway entirely too much sauce. His bitches looking at me sideways. My wrist is frozen, nigga, too much frost. You thirsty niggas need to hydrate. Wanna sniff the pussy, nigga, probably not. Crack the fine nigga on a Friday. Took me out to eat, I let him eat.